Do you use authority to gain trust? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Today I want to talk a little bit about gaining trust with your customers and how do you go about doing that. It's really a huge piece of it is standing out. And I discuss this quite a bit in my book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. You get a copy, get yourself your own free copy at amazonproofbook.com. amazonproofbook.com, or you can check it out wherever you buy books. This is called the 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. Now, I want to talk about another book today that I reference in my book. I reference this concept in my book, but I really, that one chapter can cover so many things about how to be unique in business. And it's also covered in this book, Triggers by Joe Sugarman. It's great stuff. The subtitle on this is 30 sales tools you can use to control the mind of your prospect to motivate, influence, and persuade. The subtitle actually is doing what it's telling you that you'll be able to do. It's doing that to you, It's a really funny thing, but it's all about psychology and understanding it. That could sound a little bit scary, but really it's all about psychology and understanding what drives a person to trust one thing over another, which eventually ends up leading them to purchase from that company or that person. So this is from Chapter 9. It's a great book to go out and get, by the way. Chapter 9 is called Instilling Authority in the Men's Bathroom. And what he talks about, he gives a handful of examples of how he and others have been able to instill authority. How do you cause yourself to have authority in the eyes of prospective customers? For example, my book, I literally, by writing the book, makes me an author, giving me authority. It's a little, I was having this conversation with my friend Denise the other day. It is one of those things that just causes a person to have a little bit more oomph behind them, is the fact that they wrote a book on it. The fact that they've written any book really makes them an authority. But if you wrote a book on the subject that you're attempting to talk to people about or sell products for or sell services on, that makes a difference. That automatically creates authority. You are an author, therefore you are an authority. People automatically make that connection in their mind. Another way, though, is the example he gives in here is when he started, Joe Sugarman started JSNA, and he called it America's largest single source of space-age products. That was his company. That's what they were doing. But the wording was very specific. They weren't the largest source of space-age products. They weren't the largest seller of space-age products. No, the largest single source. And he was saying that, we may not have sold more space-age products than Sears or Radio Shack, but we shipped the most of any single location, and we specialized. We specialized in space-age products, where Radio Shack and Sears wouldn't have, and we're the single source. We're one location. It was direct marketing. They were selling everything from one location. So it allowed them to be able to say that out loud and be able to carve out a spot in the marketplace to brag about. Basically, they were able to brag in their marketing about how they are this, and that's what makes them different. So my chapter in my book is all about being different, which you can go and check that out. And it's really important to understand the value of authority in being different, in standing out. It's just giving you one more edge above any other possible solution that your customer may be looking for the same problem that your product or service fixes. So, something to keep in mind, and that's just a really light touch on this, but this is a very deep subject, the idea of trust and how to take a person from where they're at to becoming a die-hard customer it takes a lifetime to figure this stuff out, but you got to start looking at the principles behind it and getting people on your team that can do that. This is one of the things that I provide. I only work with people that understand me, know me, have watched my videos or read my book and understand where I'm coming from. So if you'd like to find out more about me, go get a copy of my book, amazonproofbook.com. We'll be back here tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.